I'm Rodney Dunigan. We're following a number of developing stories tonight. Protests continuing at the State House. The May 1st deadline to peel back restrictions just days away, but protesters say enough is enough in a scene that's becoming more common. Jeff Reddick leading off our team coverage tonight. And Jeff, you spoke with neighbors about a recent surge in violence over the past few days. And hundreds of families across the city have something to eat tonight thanks to the help of several local agencies. Mary Smith has that side of the story. And gas prices across the area continue to drop. Nationwide, the cost to fill up about $1.78, the lowest in a decade. At least a dozen states saw prices below $1 a gallon this week. Right here in Ohio, AAA is reporting the average gallon is $1.38. In Franklin County, that's about $1.50. We stopped by a few stations in the Hilltop today. Prices were sitting as low as in the 120s. We're digging deeper into a pretty scary situation this morning. Police shutting down almost an entire city block, all of it after they found what they thought was a bomb during a traffic stop. Turns out that it was not a live explosive. Jeff Reddick following developments tonight. On New Tonight, a family in Dublin celebrating a very special birthday today. An entire community stepping up to say thank you to a local hero. Jesse Starkey has the story. Guys, I'm expecting a lot of excitement and emotion tonight. You consider these players and their families have been waiting for this moment for years, so it's going to be a special time. Now, I am sure there's a bit of disappointment because they won't have that usual, of course, on-site fanfare that usually comes with the draft, but they do get to enjoy this time with their family, so it should be great. And of course, from a team standpoint, the first round should be interesting. I can't wait to see who's going to focus on getting that quarterback of the future. But I do tell you one thing. One thing's for sure. Tonight's draft is a break from the reality that we've all been going through over the past few weeks. So it should be fun. And Clay, like I told you a bit earlier, I am just glad, thankful to be talking about something positive tonight for sure. Well, how about that? A man of many talents. Who knew, right? Now, we all know that Chase Young is from Maryland, so getting drafted by the Redskins would mean a homecoming for the former Buckeye star. We spoke, of course, with our sister station in D.C. about what it would be like to play for that team that he actually rooted for growing up. Now, Jay, anyone who has ever watched the Fever during the season, they already know you're pretty high on Chase Young. I guess I need to ask this question. I know it's not the smartest one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you expect him to make an impact right away in the league?
You know what, Rodney?
Thanks, Jay. Some great insight. Now to the offensive side of the ball. Whether it's tonight or Friday, J.K. Dobbins will definitely be hearing his name called. Take a second and listen to his emotional story of how his drive to be great has a very personal reason. You know what, Jay? Hopefully he hears his name tonight and not tomorrow. Chase Young, Jeffrey Okudah, and J.K. Dobbins all helped to make Ryan Day's first season as head coach one to remember. Clay caught up with the coach to talk about these Buckeye greats. We're following two major developments on the spread of the coronavirus here in central Ohio. Jeff Reddick spoke with the police chief of Bucyrus, who says he tested positive for the virus. Kaylee Gunderson is leading off our team coverage with a big announcement from COTA. And Kaylee, a third worker, has tested positive. And tonight, Kroger is stepping up safety measures at its stores. The company announcing in an email to customers that all workers will now be required to wear a mask. Those new measures going into place today. Now, as a part of that mandate, the company will provide a mask or employees can bring one of their own. Face shields will also be provided for those who need it. Developing tonight, local businesses are gearing up. This as the governor gets set to release plans this week about reopening the state. Jesse Starkey has more on how they're getting ready. Tonight, we continue to follow the very latest on the impact of the coronavirus across the U.S. As states across the country get set to reopen, some lawmakers believe more federal funding will be needed to kickstart the economy. Christine Frizzell has the story. Now, let's bring you up to date with the very latest on the coronavirus here in the state of Ohio. More than 23,000 cases have been reported and more than 1,300 people have died. And this afternoon, another protest outside of the State House. As the state slowly reopens, some say it's simply not enough. They want the governor to fully reopen the state without any restrictions, and they want that done right now. This protest was put together by the group Free Ohio Now. Protesters say events were organized in counties across the state. Also tonight, livestock farms across the state are dealing with some major issues. Some trying to sell extra animals to avoid having to put them down. Jeff Reddick is looking into that issue tonight. He's live in Fairfield County. And Jeff, what exactly is the worst case scenario for these farmers? The top cop in Bucyrus says he tested positive for the virus, sharing that news on Facebook, saying in part that he'll be back to work in 2 weeks. Jeff Reddick spoke with him today. And Jeff, how's he doing tonight? The football fever, the first NFL virtual draft is in the books. OSU LSU breaking records once again when it comes to players that were picked, but the school's all-time leading receiver, KJ Hill, believe it or not, wasn't taken until the 7th and final round. Head coach Ryan Day had a few thoughts. And the Bucs also did pretty well in the first round of the draft. Of course, 3 former players going with the first 3 picks. Clay Hall spoke with Urban Meyer, who was a part of the recruiting effort that brought all 3 right here to Columbus. All new tonight, a pretty unique event held in the Hilltop this afternoon, Art on the Move, a parade unlike any you've probably ever seen before. Tonight, barbers across the state are reaching out to the governor, stressing their businesses are safe and needed in the community.
When we go to barber school, this is something that we learn from the beginning, sanitation, sterilization of our equipment, combs, guards, clippers, razors, this is something that pretty much we train for.
Danny Eustachio, like many business owners across Ohio, holding out hope they'll be allowed to reopen soon.
Last time I opened the shop was March 18th. So since then, I haven't been open, so it's definitely been difficult. And not only that, I've had to pay rent for April and for May, along with the utilities, even though I haven't been here.
The owner of Danny's Barbershop in Riddlesburg joining others across the state, sending this letter to Governor DeWine, outlining a long list of safety measures they're willing to take. Included among them, customers given a temperature check before entering the business. Appointment-only service, 1 client at a time. Barbers required to wear a mask and gloves, and cleaning time mandated between each customer.
Taking the precautions and the safety, I think that we can definitely do that.
For many barbers across the state, they hope this pitch will be the start in the reopening process. Many believe their businesses hang in the balance. Reporting from Reynoldsburg, Rodney Dunigan, WSYX News. For businesses across the state hoping to reopen soon, their focus is on safety. For many, they're using a bit of creativity to ensure that workers and customers will remain out of harm's way.
This is all about you. This is where you forget about what's gone on outside these 4 walls.
For riders at Cycle Bar, it's all about the experience.
That's the energy that you need to bring.
That experience set to change a bit due to the coronavirus. Top priorities for the owners, cleanliness and safety.
We are going to the extreme measures to keep people healthy.
John Jansen operates franchises across Central Ohio. All locations recently installing a Remy Halo air purifying unit.
The Remy Halo is designed to recreate the natural way the environment removes impurities in outside air.
A video posted to the company's Facebook page details how the system works.
It does this by sending out ionized hydroperoxides into the space where you work and breathe, attacking microbes like bacteria, viruses, and mold spores.
Six on your side reaching out to local doctors about this technology, most saying they didn't have the knowledge about the product to weigh in on its effectiveness. Jansen confident the new system, along with additional disinfecting and safety measures, will keep their facilities germ-free.
When a customer walks in, we are going to take their temperature behind a plexiglass at the front desk. We do have pumps with hand sanitizers, which it will be a procedure that they have to do that. We will sign them in so they do not have to touch the iPad. We open up the studio 5 minutes earlier so they can go straight back to their bike. So in our studio, they're not touching multiple pieces of equipment.
The owners of Cycle Bar are holding out hope the measures they're taking will be enough to get their doors back open and to also put potential customers at ease, knowing they will be safe when they walk in. Rodney Dunigan, WSYX News. All new tonight, graduation season a bit different this year for students across Central Ohio. Because of the coronavirus, no typical ceremonies. In Upper Arlington, the community using a bit of creativity to make today special for a group of local grads. The rainy weather not putting a damper on this day.
Oh, I was not expecting this, so but we're making the best of it.
This street-side graduation will certainly be one to remember for a group of young students in Upper Arlington.
Although this doesn't make up for the lost ceremony, I think it's important that they are recognized for their achievements. A little bit more than just getting a diploma in the mail.
A parade of support, something we're seeing a lot of nowadays, all in celebration of Sarah, Allison, Ann, and Rachel, the young students missing out on the standard graduation ceremony this year, but family and the community doing all they can to make it a special one anyway. A show of love, one that will no doubt never be forgotten. The Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program was intended to help those mom and pop shops survive the pandemic, but millions of dollars have been pouring into big business. Now the actions of a local company have been called into question.
I'm not hopeful anymore. I'm angry.
You've heard the heartbreak of small businesses trying to stay afloat.
There's absolutely
Investigator Jesse Pagan detailing issues he had securing funds from the program.
To even apply was a challenge.
Now a New York Times investigation shining light on large companies cashing in. Some companies like Ruth's Chris returning millions. Among the companies highlighted, Intellinetics, the Colombian software company, got more than $800,000 in PPP loans. According to the report, the following week, spending hundreds of thousands to buy a rival firm. Company officials declined to speak with Six on Your Side on camera, but in a lengthy part, they're exactly the type of business the CARES Act was designed to help. Also pointing out the money will be used for payroll and to ensure the company can continue to conduct business. For some small business owners, this is an example of what they've been fighting.
You see on TV every day where the larger corporations who say they're small, but they're large, they're getting tens of millions of dollars, and the small companies are getting zero.
In their statement, Intellinetics also stresses that no money from the Paycheck Protection Program has been or will be used to pay for that new company. For a full look at their entire statement, head on over to our website.